Hi everyone, and welcome back to my series on how to make an action RPG in Godot 4. In this video, we will look at how we can make the player blink when it is hit by an enemy. And now let's get started. Okay, let's make our player blink when it is hurt. We want the player to blink between being completely white and the regular sprite with a reddish tone. To color our sprite, we first add a ColorRect as a child of the player sprite, and move it so it covers the sprite. Next, we select the sprite node and go to Visibility in the Inspector menu, and then locate the Clip Children property. We set this to Clip plus Draw. If we test the game now, we can see that our player is now completely white. And if we go back to the ColorRect and click on its color, we can choose another color for it. And we can also change the alpha value to make it more or less transparent. Next, we will make an animation using this ColorRect. We want this animation to be played on top of the regular move animations. However, an animation player can only play one animation at a time. So we need to create a new animation player to handle effects on the player. I'm calling this new player Effects. In the new animation player, we now create a new animation called hurtBlink. I set the snap to 0.2 and set the first frame by going to the ColorRect, select a red color and set alpha to around 128, and then clicking on the key. For the next frame, I right-click on the first one and select Insert Key. Then I click to select the new frame and change the color to white and set alpha to 255. I also set the animation length to 0.4 and select animation looping to make it repeat itself endlessly. We also need to go to the reset animation and make sure that the color in the frame has an alpha value of 0. Now we want the animation to be played when our player is being hit. So we go to the player script and start by creating an onReady variable that stores a reference to our new effects animation player. Next, we go to the onHurtBox area entered function and play the hurtBlink animation just after we call the knockback function. And finally, we create a ready function and make sure that the effect is reset when the game starts. When we test the game now, we can see that the blink animation is started when the player is hit by a slime. But it never really stops. We can use a timer to make the animation stop after a certain amount of time. So let's add one to our player scene and call it hurtTimer, and set one-shot to on. In our player script, we then create a reference to the timer, and after we start playing the blink animation, we start the hurtTimer, await its timeout, and then play the effects reset animation. Now when we test, we see that the blinking stops after a second, which is a default wait time for a timer. You can look in the Godot documentation if you want to learn more about the await keyword and coroutines, or if you want to learn more about timers. I've left links to both in the caption of this video. And that's all for this episode. Next time, we will look at how to create a hurt state and make the player immune while it's blinking. Bye!